start the encoder here. Get a goner. That's not right. That's not right. It's not right either. I'm pretty much like them that way in that order. D sharp, G sharp, and 5 C sharp. Greetings, my name is Michael Miller. This is a Michael Miller trademark training video live on YouTube, out to you because you're watching. So thank you for that. And it's meant for you and Michael Miller Pilates licensed affiliates, and for the Core New Core, and anyone interested in surviving as a Pilates instructor or interested in Core New Tension for whatever reason they have. Twice lately, greetings. So twice lately, I've told friends how privileged I feel to get to be doing this. And to a projected audience to come someday, maybe never, but just in being able to participate in the opportunity to record your profession about something, mine being about Pilates, and it's just one view of 10,000 views of Pilates, but to get to meet with you and explain that view, make my profession, I encourage you to try it, but make sure that you control what you say and how you say it so that you try not to be misunderstood. If I were talking to myself, I would try to say, don't get in the way of your own message, your own profession, right? So what am I selling other than that view, or what am I selling that relates to that view? Are stickers, magnets. This is cool because they're all stuck together. You laugh, but a magnet, most of my near and dear friends have a magnet on their refrigerator that goes with them when they move, of course. Magnets. Posters. See? Posters. I have to do a better job of introducing posters that are available at your FedEx store if you've got one that prints things out. So you can buy a poster and pick it up hard and finish like this from your local FedEx, supposedly. I am selling student fees, right? If you're a student of mine, I like it when you pay something towards that. And something more formal, like the affiliation, a Michael Miller Pilates licensed affiliate, I'm selling as the ability to use my trademark in limited fashion and scope, but to actually hold out the trademark, to me that shows you know. It shows you know. It shows you know about core new tension. And then if you know about that, you probably know something about Pilates as well. But maybe not. I think it would be fascinating to have a yoga studio or a martial arts studio have the banner of Core New and be drawing those interested in the use of core new tension in whatever modality the banner is drawing people towards. See what I mean? That's why my welcome and my who is this meant for includes now people interested in core new tension, regardless of what other modality they're applying it to. Speaking fees, I'm thinking about going on tour and just having a 55-minute talk, so it fits within the context of an hour, right? But a 55-minute talk, that is a review of the merry-go-round or the carousel review of MMP and core new tension, and then privates, of course, and group sessions are the things that I have to sell. And perhaps someday a group of these recordings all on a thumb drive, right? Or some kind of synthesis of these recordings done by me or a group of others to add more context to what exists on live footage. So, what do I have to sell? What am I selling? Well, you know, stickers and specific language techniques. I forgot about those. SLTs. Part of this may bore you to tears and you may not be interested at all in what I have to sell, but generally my engagement commercially with the Pilates community at least expresses an option that you may wish to utilize in part or in toto. I always think of Toto the dog. What I'm really selling through this image, this trademark, is the knowledge of core new tension to help you get to what you're after when you actually do Pilates, which is a Pilates body. And you know, it seems like that whole target or subject has faded from popular expression, and yet for me, I've often heard the desire to get a Pilates body. Because when somebody really is doing Pilates, their body takes on a distinctive energy. Not just a shape or an appearance, but the dynamic within it, the tensioning within it, right? In your interview, that asks, well, what makes you different, or what kind of thing can you deliver to your students? You might even have to bring it up, but look, the target for a long time, and still is, I think, the attainment of a Pilates body. And that Pilates body has a nature to it that's defined by its pliability and strength. And the balance within those two capacities. And of course, the complete coordination of body, mind, and spirit as the pursuit of the definition that Joe defines his method as. And, and for me, in my point of view, a Pilates body comes from learning how to be in your body in a tensioned way, to where you know how to, within your own body, make tension that gives you uniform usage. See, and right there, it doesn't matter how you get to it. It doesn't matter if you're aware of, use, care about, or despise this image. What we're after is uniform usage to get uniform development. And this Pilates body that is the heart's object, when you see that body walking by, just to say, I want a body that looks like that. It's the muscle tone, right? It's the grace of the movement as well, see? So it's just not the, it's the way that body exists in space, moves through space. That is the effect of the pursuit of Pilates. And to me, the more you're aware of how you get to that end result, the faster you can get there, right? And that has to do with how you make uniform usage in the body. And so there were 4 things in my broadcast today. And the first one is, what am I selling? Remember that? And my second one was, and just was, the Pilates body, and that you use your ability to make tension within the body to distribute load, to get that uniform musculature and refined sense of movement through space. By pursuing the choreography of the method. And I say choreography meaning the exercises and the order that they're in, and pursuing the complete purpose of each exercise, totally concentrated as you're doing each exercise. And I know there's an ocean of other Pilates that starts from different places and goes different places. This is just me and mine, offered to you to be part of yours as what you use to survive as a Pilates instructor. And so the number 2 thing was the Pilates body, and knowing what your target is. It's not therapy. It's not about issues. It handles those great. But Pilates is about conditioning first and foremost before being turned toward or diverted towards rehab. That's all. And that's okay. It's just that in the rehab, it helps to know that what you're rehabbing with is what you're meant to be conditioning with all along, which proves to be true. And, old-time Pilates folks, you and I can say that's been true all along, right? And so number 3, in terms of getting to a Pilates body, just to me presumes that you know how to control rotational dynamics in your body, like rotation at the hips, rotation at the shoulders and the ears and the knees, the ankles and the metatarsals. I know you can look at others or define others or add more or take away, but those are my 6 for the trademark that I'm talking about, because to me, those are the apparent axial rotations existent in the human body within that plane. And so getting a grip at the hips, see, I must be talking to the future, because still today, to my world of Pilates, my culture of Pilates, ignores is a good word, ignores the reality of the biology in its attempt to achieve the physics. The whole core thing, the whole talk of core and establishing a core and contrology being about control, well, the first ingredient of core is the ability to take a flat squeeze and turn it into a coiled grip. And that accomplishment of turning a flat squeeze into a grip is the establishment of your core. And to the extent that you have a grip, and to the depth of its ability to go toward the axis in which it establishes itself, in order to apply more leverage, more torque, if you will, more control. So getting to a Pilates body is all about getting and then holding your grip at the hips. So if in the 100 your legs destroy your grip and it turns into a flat squeeze, compression in your back, just meaning that you're overloading the weight of your grip control with too much weight, right? The whole finesse in Pilates is knowing how to use the weight of your body to go deeper in your engagement of your body, to have more control for you to exercise in whatever way you see fit. So if you haven't heard it before, the grip is the core literally is a grip at the hips. The biology has evolved and exists to this day to develop and establish a rotational grip here. And to the extent that it is a grip, it is the core. To be a core, I think it has to actually be a grip. Now, some would argue probably that just a clenched musculature can be a stable core, and yeah, okay, maybe so, but then where, right? And then in what way do you engage the shoulders to come to the hips? And so, and I didn't put, where did I say that? Oh, there's that word. In your teaching, the delivery of your instructions, I would recommend, is that the shoulders reach down to the hips to establish core tension, and the ears reach down to the shoulders to establish core tension. Because the hips in and of themselves are the powerhouse. And the powerhouse equals the core equals a grip at the hips. And to the extent that you have control of that grip, and you have control of your core, you have control of your powerhouse, and now it's up to you to extend that control beyond your core out to your extremities. And see, Pilates is all about reaching for a uniformly developed body, because that's Joe's promise of what you get when you do this. And that uniformly developed body is that Pilates body we're talking about, right? It's not too musculature, it's not too muscular, it's not too flexible, it's dynamic, it's strong, it's fluid, all of that. The Pilates body comes out of the pursuit of a uniform usage of the body in order to get the promise of uniform development, and that uniform development shows up as the Pilates body. And so to me, when you're aware of core nu tension and how to make endpoints of tension, to engage in core nu tension, which is oppositional rotation between axes, 4 words, right? Memorize them. Oppositional rotation between axes, that's all core nu tension is, right? But it is what it is, and it makes alignment sensational and allows you to distribute the load of the weight of your body more uniformly in its musculature, which is why you end up with a Pilates body. All right, so number 4. In any of these exercises that we're talking about, in the sequence of the exercises, all of them, any of them, because Joe writes about being fully concentrated on the purpose of the exercise as you're performing it, right? That fully concentrated, the more you have an understanding of what you're trying to express, or the more you have an understanding of the purpose of the exercise, trying to blend with Joe's words here, the more you understand the purpose of the exercise, the more you can reach into it, which is my statement on one level. The more you learn about the purpose of the exercise, the easier it is for you to apply yourself to that purpose. And then the other level, or is that, if there really is a purpose to the exercise that you're applying yourself towards, and then whether it's ideal or not, but certainly if there is an ideal, but whether it's ideal or not, whatever the purpose of that exercise is, where your understanding of what the purpose of the exercise is draws you into your performance of that exercise. Like free diving in the ocean, how deep can you go? Well, we're diving in the ocean of concentration, and it's my experience and my own efforts and the efforts of all of my students is that you can only concentrate for so deep for so long before you have to return to the surface. And when you return to the surface, the idea is to flow into the next exercise and dive into that one as deeply as you can. And my point in this is that in the dive into the depth of the purpose of the exercise, the purpose of the exercise draws you into greater depth. Anymore, when you think about how global Pilates is, and at any moment that you choose to be doing the 100, an exercise in the Pilates mat work, or any of the exercises, that in the moment that you're doing it, it's not also being reached for by hundreds, if not thousands of other people. And in the listening of that, of extending your listening to the sense of it's not only you that's reaching for the purpose of the exercise, but everybody else reaching with you. Not everybody, but so those were my four things. The fourth one was that the exercise draws you towards it. So, excuse me. My conclusion is buy something because I need to sell something to keep doing what I'm doing. And I'm not sure how to or what you would be interested in, but I've mentioned the things that I have to buy at the beginning of this broadcast. The main thing I have to sell is the Pilates body, right? Don't forget that to me, that's the product. When you look, oh man, I want that, is what I feel and others have expressed about seeing someone that's doing Pilates. And that's why you see celebrities going to and coming from, because that's the subject and the discipline, and that whole thing of drawing you deeper into it in a studio, where others are participating as well, in a class or in other areas, right? So, and know what you're buying. That was the other thing. So my two concluding remarks are, buy something, and I have to say that means associate yourself with the brand. That's all. My part of my profession is allowing you to participate in the brand in this way, the easiest way for me and for you to reach globally. So grateful for that. If you want to send me, if you want me to send you some stickers or some magnets, or have a poster printed up at the FedEx stop nearest you, become a student, pay some student fees, engage in a private. I don't have a studio here locally I teach out of, but I'll come deliver my view on Pilates and play my role as an instructor, if that's what you want, or teacher. Know what you're buying. So, know what you're buying. That's part two of the ending here, is know what you're buying. Buy something of mine, of course, that's what I'm trying to sell. And it's all point of view, and it comes in two takeaways. I mentioned that in my Michael Miller Pilates Facebook business place that I never broadcast on. The two takeaways from me are MMP and core new tension. And you don't have to care anything about MMP to find use and application for core new tension. And it's a great use and application within any application of Pilates, and especially in the point of view of MMPs. Why is that? Because an MMP, you're after an experience, specifically in the moment of the doing, and you're acknowledging or reaching to coordinate a human's capacity in body and mind, and in spirit, where spirit is the listener, the observer, the concentrator. Something about that capacity in the human where thinking is not listening, and listening isn't thinking. So you're addressing capacities in the human being in that way, regardless of whether they're seamless and regardless of where they come from. See? As an instructor, you don't need to care about defining any of it or intellectualizing about any of it. What matters most is your ability to coordinate those capacities in the pursuit of the choreography of the mat. And I could say performance of the mat, or doing the exercises in a row, but to me it's easy to see that there's choreography in it as a whole. It's meant to be performed in sequence. So know what you're buying. And I encourage you to get some of this stuff while you can. Because why? Because why? Because this is a small thing. It's a sticker. And you can buy a lot of them for a little bit and give them away because they're affordable. But you can also charge for them if they're meaningful enough that you want to take it to that level. And if not my stickers, do your stickers for your trademark. Right? The ideal thing, all right, what I have to do I haven't done yet because I have so much fun just handing away the sticker. People immediately look here and expect to see contact information. And when there's none, there's this unusual look of acceptance that this is all there is, or that this is what there is, which indeed is my message. And my friend at my data science meetup said, well, you ought to have, so I need a stamp that has the information on it, and then depending on whether or not I want the info on it or not, to have two different pockets, one blank and one with the info. And that seemed rational, but way too complicated, and I do want to get a stamp. So that's why I'm recommending it to you as well. Get stickers. Get stickers of you or whatever your information is. And that's the first precursor to a stamp, to a magnet, right? That sits on the, one of my favorite business cards is a magnet, and it's still on the hood of my oven over my stove. I think I have to go on tour though and see if I can sell this stuff. And if not, at least give away a sticker, because that's, to me, is the most important thing. Right, so your takeaway are those two things, MMP and core new tension. And for me, core new tension is more important than MMP, because it applies to a broader group of humanity than those in pursuit of Pilates, whatever that is. Right? Follow that? Core nutention is biomechanical, and it addresses the way the body engages itself, its biology, to accomplish the physics. And someday someone will come along with an integral that expresses this. If I don't get to it first, someone will beat me to it in terms of expressing it mathematically. But what matters to me and to you as a Pilates instructor is that sensationally, through your sensation, you can be aware of core nutention in your body, and from that recognition, implement it throughout your body as a means of engaging your body. Life can't live forever, and I certainly have enjoyed today because of my chance to get to share this with you. Read between the lines. Buy stuff while you can. Stickers are the cheapest. Magnets last the longest. Affiliations allow you to claim the most. Posters are printable at the local FedEx. Why did I get off on that? Read between the lines. Oh, because life can't live forever. Read between the lines. See behind the curtain. Right, right. See behind the curtain. Add 2 and 2. Part of numbers is money, so buy something. That's today's broadcast. But also numbers in a lot of other ways are a reflection of reality, and Pilates reaches toward reality, so having a handle on your own numbers, like what it costs you to teach. How much does it cost you to show up and be present for that hour, right? And based on knowing your cost, that puts you in the position of not only not going into debt, but coming out ahead, which is what you're meant to do, right? So add 2 and 2. Because others are, even if you're not. There you go, that's a good add 2 and 2. Because others are, even if you're not. And by you doing your own adding, it helps you survive. Direct your thinking. And show respect comes in right behind that. And I think that's a lingering from because you show respect because you get what you give. There you go. Noble words from someone as hot-tempered as I am, it seems, but I've mellowed over the years. Which hopefully shows up. Geist.